Hello everyone, it's Mandy here, the Kitchen Witch in Training, and I don't know if you all remember my post from about, I guess it was 2 months ago. I think it was 2 months ago because it was in October. The weather was still really kind of coolish warm. And I posted a picture in a group about making herbal powders. I was working with a mortar and pestle, and it was just taking forever, and it wasn't as fine. The end result wasn't as fine as I wanted. So I posted a picture in a group, and a lot of you had suggested that I get a spice grinder, which I never worked with before. So I found a spice grinder. It was like $25. Really doesn't take up too much room. Nice and small, but it really gets the job done, and I'm really glad that some of you suggested it. It works really well. I'm going to show you the herbs that I have powdered up. The first one, second one, third, and fourth. So the first one I did was hibiscus, because remember in the picture I was working on grinding up hibiscus in the mortar and pestle. So I took a lot of the, I guess, halfway grinded hibiscus, and I put it in the spice grinder, and I ground it up even further, and this is what I have here. It's about, I think it's about an ounce, maybe a little bit more than an ounce. So all these are about an ounce of hibiscus. So actually it was really easy to grind in the spice grinder. Just, it was perfect. My mom grew a whole bunch of lemongrass over the summer. And so she gave me like this huge 16-ounce jar of lemongrass as a gift. So I pretty much like powdered and drank half the jar because I like making lemongrass tea out of it. Now what's interesting is that with the mortar and pestle, if you just keep going, like with the hibiscus or any other herb, eventually it would get powdered. It would just take a really long time. Don't think so. It's that it would be possible with the lemongrass. The reason being is that this is a grass. It's like the way the plant, it forms. It's this long stalk, and the fibers are just longer. So you have some lemongrass here in the spice grinder, and I powdered it up just a little bit, not too much. It's just perfect to make a tea out of it. So it's not a complete powder, but it's small enough to make a real nice potent tea. Because if you just do like the stalks of lemongrass, just cut in really big pieces, it's not a really good potent tea. It just tastes like water. But when you grind it up, it really makes a real nice potent tea. And so, as you see here, if you try to grind this up in a mortar and pestle, you're just going to get smaller and smaller fibers, but you're not going to get the powder that you're looking for. So the spice grinder is amazing. It does take much longer, I've noticed, to grind up lemongrass than any of the other herbs. It just takes longer, again, due to the fact that it's a grass. But it's still worth it. The second one I did was horsetail. And then I did sage. I also did lemon peel, and that's downstairs digesting in a solvent. So these are the first 5 of the herbs that I've powdered, and I'm really excited about this. And it was a really nice experience, a nice experiment. So I'll show you why I want to powder these herbs anyway. Is to make herbal extracts. Now there's 2 ways to make herbal extracts. You can take, let's say for lemongrass, you can take the plant, cut up the stalks, fill a jar all the way up to the top, and then fill it with a solvent, like either 40% or 50% vodka, or half and half, straight alcohol and water. Let it sit for 6 weeks and you've got an extract. Or you can do a percolation method, which is where you run the solvent through your powdered herbs. So the first one I did was cayenne pepper, because that was already powdered. You could just get cayenne pepper in the store. So I tried this one. This is the first one I've made. And the second one I did was a turmeric. Now, if you noticed, it looked kind of similar as far as color, and the reason being is that when I first did it, I watched one video and I decided to just run the solvent through once, as the video instructed. I watched another video, and the presenter, she actually ran the solvent through 3 times. I only did it twice, but you can see that it's much darker. So in the first pass, it was much lighter in color. It was closer to the actual color of the turmeric spice. So it was more yellow. So if I had ran it once, it would be like more yellow. But because I ran it through twice, it looks closer in color to the cayenne pepper. So I'm pretty sure if I ran the solvent through twice to the cayenne pepper, it'd be much darker in color. So these are the first 2 extracts I've done. So with the other herbs here that I've powdered up, I'm going to be making extracts out of these herbs. So got lemon peel downstairs, it's digesting, it's about to be turned into an extract as well. The main motivation for me making these extracts is so I could work on a scalp spray. I have really bad dandruff, and everything I've tried commercially is just ugh. And I've made up an oil using different kinds of herbs and spices, and it works. It's just that it's an oil, and sometimes my scalp in here ends up feeling really greasy. So I wanted to try a different medium. Cayenne pepper is really good. I found that it's really worked on like reducing itchiness on my scalp. Turmeric is really good because it's anti-inflammatory. Then you got lemongrass, which is full of, vitamin C. So it's also really good for the scalp. So I'm just making sure I'm getting herbs that are just, really good to help with this problem. And hopefully it'll be much better than the oil, and I really like it. So this is an experiment for me, staying home 2020, quarantining. I'm just finding nice little things to do and discovering new projects and things to make. And this has just been really, really rewarding for me to get started on. So these bottles are 4 ounces each. I think this is like, 3.5, I think. Some of the solvent got kind of like trapped in the herbs, so I added a little bit more solvent so I can make it 4 ounces for this bottle. But yeah, each bottle is 4 ounces. So there we go. So this little spice grinder here has been absolutely amazing. I want to thank you all so much for making that suggestion. And yeah, when I do more extracts, I'll post them in the group, and that way you can all see what I'm doing. I also want to make a lavender extract. Really excited about making that one. So I'm going to powder up the lavender. I'm going to use some of it as an incense, because I do burn the lavender buds as an incense. It smells amazing. But I want to powder it up and see if there's any difference between burning the powder versus burning the actual dried buds. But I also want to make an extract out of that too. So yeah, I'm super excited. And again, I will post in the group and let you all know my progress and where it takes me from there. So thank you all so very much. Take care of yourselves. Blessed be. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.